Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, the motion carries. Now we'll bring adjournment to our special executive committee meeting at 2:44 p.m. We're gonna now move on to our it is normally scheduled executive committee meeting. We'll call that to order at 2:44, and we'll do I'll just acknowledge we have a full executive committee. I'm gonna have to do roll call. And any general manager comments?
No, nothing.
All right, any department manager comments? No. Legal counsel?
No, Mr. President, thank you.
All right, any committee members comments? All right, we're about to public comment. Seeing no public comment, we're about to do. Seeing none on Zoom, I'll bring it back for consideration items. We have the first item of consideration, the minutes of October 2nd, 2024 meeting.
They look good to me. I'll be happy to make a motion to approve.
And I'll second.
Wonderful. Well, for public comment on this item. Seeing none, we'll bring it back to the committee, or we'll go to Zoom. Seeing none, we'll bring it back to the committee for a voice vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, the motion carries. Move on to the September 2024 claims and financial reports.
Okay, at the end of September, revenues are actually up year over year, $200,000, mostly in investment earnings. A big chunk of that is just the adjustment to the fair market value. So really, cash is about flat year over year, which is still good as flat year over year will easily achieve our budget. On the expenditure side, we're actually spending money at a little slower rate than we did last year, so we're ahead of the game. So any ideas, guys?
Should I said that in public?
But we are in good shape. Just it being, I'm not used to my revenues being flat, but I'll take that in still good for the budget.
All right.
Happy to answer any questions.
Any questions from the board? Seeing none, and then on my end, we'll go for public comment. Seeing none, we'll go to Zoom. Then on Zoom, we'll bring it back to the committee for discussion and action.
I move that we move this for the board, for the board's approval.
Second. All right, and it's been probably moved and seconded, so we'll do a voice vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Seeing none opposed, or any of those opposed? No, the motion carries. We'll go on to the September 2024 quarterly investment report.
Okay, this item typically goes directly to the board, but since we had no board meeting last month, it really required presented at the next possible meeting. We have $35 million in cash, mostly invested in LAIF, earning a comfortable 4.5%, with another $2.5 million in a public investment management account with Mechanics Bank, which provides same day access. And that's earning 4.7%. We have plenty of money to pay our bills for the next 6 months, which is the whole point of the report. So,
All right, well, any committee questions? Seeing none, we'll go to public comment. Seeing no public comment, we'll go to Zoom. None on Zoom, we'll bring it back to the committee for discussion and direction.
I know that we send this to the board for their approval.
second.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, the motion carries. We'll go on to resolution approving the allocation of cash balances for fiscal year 2023-2024 and supplemental appropriation to budget adjustments to the operating budget.
Yeah. Great. It's also pretty straightforward as we're not asking for anything outside of our financial policies. At the end of June 30th, we had $38.5 million in our cash and investment accounts. Large portions of that are restricted by legal agreements, held in trust, already designated to different reserves from prior years, or assigned to budget for capital improvements post closure. So once we remove the balances from those, the remaining amount at the end of the year was $2.7 million. Like I said, so per our financial policies, we finished paying off the unfunded liability in CalPERS first. So I mentioned in the past that once we took the money allocated in the budget, we have $65,000 remaining. And we'll make that payment the day after the board meeting, which leaves an unallocated amount of 2.6 million. We set that 60% to capital reserves, 20% to operational reserves, and 20% to the environmental impairment reserve. So 1.5 million and 5 million, 0.5 million to each. The staff report does contain a resolution to allocate the $65,000 budget so we can make that UAL payment. And then our balances will be, for the allocation, 5.6 million for capital reserve. It's actually more higher than the number I showed when we talked about potential funding for crazy work. And then environmental impairment reserve, will be at 3.2 million. The goal for that, reserve has always been the amount of a bed at Crazy Horse, which is, all the sites we have, this would be the most expensive site. I think so we're at 78% funded for that reserve. And then our operational reserve will be funded at 81%, and that is only because we increased the reserve policy from 50% to 20%. So we'll start working towards getting that fully funded for 3.8 billion out of the 0.7 million that we should be at. We're still in very comfortable reserves in case something happens, and we'll work towards achieving those goals in the next few years. Then I'll come back and ask to increase the limit for the operational reserve again. But nothing different. We're just following the financial policies and allocating it accordingly. Happy to answer any questions.
Any questions from the board?
Nothing.
Seeing none, we'll go to public comment. Seeing no public comment, we'll go out to Zoom. Seeing none on Zoom, we'll bring it back to the committee for a voice vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Oh, sorry.
I'll move that we move this to the board
Yeah.
for consideration.
Also,
Okay.
Right, now we do voice vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Right, we have future agenda items.
all right.
Good job.
So we have a fairly big agenda in November because of the cancellation of the October meeting. A lot, as you can see, a lot of it's going to be just consent items that are carried over. All the items you've heard today, plus some carryover from the October meeting. We did readjust a few of the items, move them out to beginning of the year agendas, just to keep the November meeting as compact as we could make it. So it's not excessively long, but it'll definitely be a 2+ hour meeting, I think.
What's the date for me in December?
21st.
21st,
21st,
2 weeks from now.
4 days before Christmas. Why
No.
November, why did I say December?
Oh,
Skipping me.
yeah. We're not planning to meet in December.
That's what I thought, so I was wrong there.
So we have the audit report, we have a presentation from our new youth council, or an introduction of our new youth council. We'll be having our annual work meeting overview, update Andy and her staff. And then the board will get the succession plan, that you all heard, last month, after our meeting.
Passing on, I think I probably won't be. Supervisor Lopez probably won't be there, because that's that weekend CSAC. I am coming back on Thursday, I should be able to be there. But just worried, if you're worried, we'll make sure we have a forum and everything.
Well,
And then
one of you could contact,
Supervisor Lego would be available, everybody's gonna be down there, so I'm just forcing to come back a little more.
and then of course, we'll be talking about the new board schedule for next year, as well as officer nominating committee. Just on the board schedule, so one of the things that I had asked Erica to do, is that because we know there are some things like League of California Cities and things that may interfere or have conflict with future board meetings. And we do talk about that when we post the agenda every year. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and add it to our calendar, so we put reminders out to the board members 1 and 2 months ahead of time. So that way, if you know you're gonna be gone, we can sort of full board, find out, if we're gonna have a problem with getting a quorum, then we can have a little more time to try to rearrange a meeting or reschedule a different meeting to substitute it, so we'll take that extra step to, help that along. And then, the board will be talking today in closed session about both my and Roy's evaluations, and then those will go to the board for final discussion and consideration in a couple of weeks as well. So if there's anything else you'd like to add or subtract or move around, let us know.
All right, so that's it for that. We're gonna now go into closed session. We have two items on closed session. Number one is for, item number 6 is pursuant to government code section 54957B to consider the performance evaluation of the general manager / chief administrative officer, Patrick Matthews, for 2024. And item number 7 pursuant to government code section 54957B to consider the performance evaluation of the general counsel, Roy C. Santos, for 2024. Is there any public comment on this item? Seeing none, we'll go on to Zoom. None on Zoom. We will temporarily adjourn into closed session. Yep. Alrighty, we are reconvening into open session with nothing to report from closed session. So at this time, we will adjourn the meeting.
Amen.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you, Ryan.
Was that it? We're adjourned?
Yeah, adjourned.
Okay. Good